Hello everyone, welcome to the third MCQ video on induction. Let us get started. A 4-speed squirrel cage induction motor uses dash stator windings 1, 2, 3, 4, and here you go. And the answer is 2. So a double cage induction motor is able to produce 4 speed settings. In a double squirrel cage induction motor, the outer cage winding has high inductance, low resistance, high resistance, none of the above. And here you go. And the answer is high resistance. And a double cage induction motor also has high starting torque at low starting currents. That is the advantage. If the rotor slots are deeper, rotor resistance is increased at starting, decreased at starting, increased under running conditions remains the same. Here you go. And the answer is increased at the starting. So having deeper slots means increased starting resistance. A 3-phase 6-pole induction motor is connected to a 60 Hz supply. The voltage induced in the rotor bars is 4 volt when the rotor is at standstill. The voltage induced in the rotor bars at 300 rpm is 1.2 volt, 2.5 volt, 3 volt, 4.5 volt, and here you go. And the answer is 3 volt. Here the voltage inducing the rotor is slip times the voltage at standstill. Now here you have to calculate the slip using the equation S equal to ns minus n divided by ns and just substitute. Now the fifth question. A 3-phase 400 volt wound rotor induction motor has delta connected stator windings and star connected rotor winding. The stator has 48 turns per phase while the rotor has 24 turns per phase. The standstill voltage across the slip rings is 247 volts, 212 volts, 305 volts, 346 volts, and here you go. And the answer is 346 volt. An induction motor is similar to that of a transformer. Normally an induction motor is called transformer with rotating secondary. Here also the turns ratio, similar to the turns ratio, you can say that stator voltage by rotor voltage equal to stator number of turns divided by rotor number of turns. So from this equation you can calculate the standstill voltage across the slip rings. But the thing is that you have to multiply it with root 3 as the rotor is star connected, and the answer will be 346 volts. If a 3-phase induction motor is started at its rated voltage, the starting current is of the order of dash times the full load current 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 5 to 8, 8 to 10, and here you go. And the answer is 5 to 8. The starting current of a induction motor when started at the rated voltage will be around 5 to 8 times the rated voltage. So we will be using different kinds of starter according to its rating. Different kinds of starters are the direct online starter, auto transformer starter, star delta starter, rotor resistance starter, etc. Seventh question. A 400 volt 50 Hz 4 pole 3-phase induction motor has a standstill rotor reactance of 0.1 ohm per phase. What is the value at a rotor speed of 500 rpm? 0.44 ohm per phase, 0.666 ohm per phase, 0.0666 ohm per phase, 0.1 ohm per phase. And here you go. And the answer is 0.0666 ohm per phase. The rotor reactance under a running condition is slip times the standstill reactance. So here you have to find out the value of the slip using the equation ns minus n by ns and substitute in the equations, and you will obtain it as 0.0666 ohm per phase. Efficiency of a three-phase induction motor can be greater than 1 minus s, cannot be greater than 1 minus s, is always greater than 1 minus s, none of the above. Here you go. And the answer is it cannot be greater than 1 minus s, because an approximate relation to the efficiency is obtained as 1 minus s. So it cannot be greater than 1 minus s. The magnetizing current drawn by a three-phase induction motor is about dash percentage of full load stator current: 5, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 30 to 50. And here you go. And the answer is 30 to 50. So the magnetizing current drawn by a three-phase induction motor is about 30 to 50% of full load stator current. Two of the power supply terminals of a three-phase induction motor got interchanged during reconnection after maintenance of the motor. When put back into service, the motor will fail to rotate in the same direction as it was prior to the maintenance, rotate in the reverse direction to that prior to maintenance, none of the above. And here you go. Yes, you guessed it right. It will rotate in a reverse direction prior to that of maintenance, because changing the stator terminals, two terminals will reverse the direction of rotation of the rotor. The seventh harmonic torque in a three-phase induction motor make the motor run at 1 by 7 synchronous speed. This is called cogging, skewing, crawling, plugging. And here you go. And the answer is crawling. Due to seventh harmonics, induction motor tend to run at lower speeds around 1 by 7th of the rated value, and this phenomenon is called crawling. If the number of stator slots in a three-phase induction motor is equal to the number of rotor slots, the motor refuses to start. This is known as cogging, skewing, crawling, plugging. And here you go. And the answer is cogging. Due to magnetic locking, if the number of stator conductors and rotor conductors are equal, there is a tendency of magnetic locking and the induction motor will not start. This phenomenon is called the cogging. Dash reduces or even entirely eliminates cogging in a three-phase induction motor. Single phasing, skewing, plugging, none of the above. Here you go. And the answer is skewing. Skewing means slightly making the rotor bars at an angle rather than making them parallel, and this skewing has some more advantages because it makes more uniform torque, then less noise during operation, then mainly it avoids the locking tendency, which is the cogging. For a slip ring induction motor, if the rotor resistance is increased, then the starting torque dash and efficiency dash increases, 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 decreases, 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 increases. And here you go. And the answer is increases, decreases. That is, the starting torque will be increased and the efficiency will be decreased. By adding external resistance in the rotor circuit, you can increase the starting torque, but more power will be wasted in the resistance, and so the efficiency will be reduced. This is the only advantage with the slip ring motor, that you can add external resistance. The rotor of a wound rotor induction motor must be wound for dash number of poles as that of stators. The same, lesser, more, twice. And here you go. And the answer is the same. The rotor must be wound for the same number of poles as that of stator. The full load power factor of an induction motor is dash the power factor at starting, equal to, lesser than, more than, none of the above. And here you go. And the answer is more than, because the full load power factor is normally more than the no load power factor, and no load power factor is very low, of the order of 0.25 and all, and at rated conditions or full load condition the power factor goes even up to 0.8 or 0.9. So this is the relation between power factor and the speed. The no load power factor of an induction motor is of the order of 0.1 to 0.3, 0.3 to 0.5, 0.5 to 0.7, 0.8 to 0.9, and here you go. And the answer is 0.1 to 0.3. The no load power factor tend to be very low because the current drawn is mainly of inductive in nature. An induction motor has high rotor resistance at starting and low rotor resistance during running conditions, low rotor resistance at starting and high rotor resistance during running conditions, same value of rotor resistance at all conditions, none of the above. Here you go. And the answer is high rotor resistance at starting and low rotor resistance during running conditions. Three-phase winding carrying sinusoidal currents produces harmonics of the order of dash, where k is an integer, k plus or minus 1, 2k plus or minus 1, 5k plus or minus 1, 6k plus or minus 1, and here you go. And the answer is 6k plus or minus 1. So in an induction motor, the harmonics produced are of the order of 6k plus or minus 1, where k is an integer. Squirrel cage induction motor has dash than a slip ring induction motor. Higher efficiency and lower power factor, lower efficiency and lower power factor, higher efficiency and higher power factor, lower efficiency and higher power factor. Here you go. And the answer is higher efficiency and higher power factor. So the performance of a squirrel cage induction motor is better than a slip ring induction motor. A wound rotor machine has a dash starting torque and a dash starting current. High, low, high, high, low, high, low, low, and here you go. And the answer is high starting torque with low starting current. At standstill, the rotor frequency is dash the stator frequency, lower than, higher than, equal to, twice. And here you go. And the answer is equal to, because we know that the rotor frequency is slip times the stator frequency. At standstill, the slip will be equal to 1. So the rotor frequency is equal to stator frequency. In an induction motor, rotor copper loss equal to dash the rotor input S 1 minus S 2S 0.5. And here you go. And the answer is S. So the rotor copper loss is slip times the rotor input. In an induction motor, mechanical power developed is equal to dash air gap power S 1 minus S 2S 0.5. And here you go. And the answer is 1 minus S. So the mechanical power developed is 1 minus slip times the air gap power. Dash in an induction motor is called the torque in synchronous watts. Mechanical power, air gap power, input power, none of the above. And here you go. And the answer is air gap power. So the air gap power is normally called the torque in synchronous watts. So that is all for this video. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please do subscribe, like, share and post your comments in the comment box below. Thank you.